Rising Negro thespian Jonathan Majors. I feel like a lot of people say thespian like as a portmanteau for a lesbian actor. Rosie O'Donnell again, Raheem. There you go. That's 2 this episode. One more and you got to do 10 push-ups. But no, seriously. So Jonathan Majors was recently arrested for reportedly assaulting his female companion. And, I got to admit, Raheem, my first thought upon hearing the news was, not Jonathan Majors. No, not Jonathan Majors. But, the more I thought about it, I just didn't understand why I was so surprised. I did see Creed 3, and, we should probably talk about that in a bit, Raheem. But, I don't know anything about that brother. When I really think about it, I don't know where he's from. He seems to kind of have just appeared out of nowhere. I don't know much about his backstory. I don't even know how old dude is. Because he's new, but he got kind of an old face, like a Bill Russell face. No, but talking about Creed, the second act of Creed 3, just to, this is not a spoiler alert at all, but the second act of Creed 3 was essentially a Jonathan Majors ab reveal, Raheem. That's what it was. It was like the whole movie was kind of shot in, in like portrait mode. So, there was just a lot of close-ups and body scans and, Michael B. Jordan wiggling his thick mustache. And, I don't know, but don't get me wrong. It was a good movie, but it was an ab-centric movie, Raheem. I gotta keep it real. I give it a 7 out of 10, but it was a lot of abdominal muscles poking Raheem in this particular movie. But anyway, so Majors gets arrested, and the details are still sparse, but Majors he hired a POC woman lawyer. He's pulled out the full playbook here. Priya Chandri, she represented one of the Real Housewives in some sort of a case or something like that. So this is, it's one of the go-to people, I suppose. But anyway, so his attorney, Chandri, she makes it clear that, Majors denies the allegations. And in fact, according to her, Jonathan Majors was in fact the victim. So there's, whispers that the alleged victim is white, which raises antennas all across Black America. We all would like to believe he's being framed, not Jonathan Majors. So his Hollywood crisis management team has released text messages that they say or exonerate Majors, and his attorney's framing the text as Jane Doe recanting her story. So I looked at the text, Raheem, and I got to be honest. They're inconclusive, to say the least. In fact, whoever is texting, there's no, phone number or date on the messages. Whoever's doing the texting seems to, have acknowledged that there was a confrontation of some sort, and also acknowledges injuries. I do not know how these are supposed to exonerate Majors, Raheem. I just am not getting that. That's not what it's giving, as they say on online. But this is probably why the story's been so quiet since it first broke back on on March 25th. Hollywood has magically gone quiet on what seems like a major story, pun intended. But Raheem, I'm not here to say what did or didn't happen. The man has a court date on May 8th, so we will see what happens next. So, but Raheem, in researching the story, I came across an article in Vox. Because as you know, I be reading. It's an article in Vox written by a white woman named Asia Romero, and in that article there was a particular paragraph that I found both striking and instructive. It reads, the charges came as a deep shock to fans of Majors, whose public persona during his rapid rise through Hollywood has purveyed a soft-spoken, sensitive masculinity. And as soon as I read that, I say, oh, that's what it is. And even I fell for it. Soft spoken, sensitive masculinity, huh? Someone wants all of us to believe that, and they made sure to put him on the cover of Ebony, of all places, on the cover of Ebony, and some some hot girl summer boots, some city girl boots, some Carisha please boots, and then I thought about the high waisted pants he wore on Lovecraft Country, and it was at that moment I began to understand the success of Creed 3. The puzzle became clear, because I'm old enough to remember, Raheem, when the conventional wisdom in Hollywood was two black leads cannot open a movie, and especially not internationally. But Creed Trey opened to 58 million in America, in North America, and 41 million internationally. It was in fact the largest domestic opening ever for a sports movie. So congratulations to Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. Michael B. starring and directing in such a a blockbuster movie. But I don't know, Raheem, something about that phrase soft-spoken, sensitive masculinity, when we're talking about why is this movie so popular? It was a good movie, like I said, it was a 7 out of 10 and all, but why is this the one that opened with the biggest sports movie debut domestically ever? Why is this the one? And I don't know. I'm still focused on the soft-spoken, sensitive masculinity, and that makes me confident enough to say the following. I now believe the success of Creed 3 was due to the fact it was starring a black man with soft-spoken, sensitive masculinity and a corny black man.
The director and the star of Creed 3. And, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Oh, the corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say. I said we used to make fun of the name. But yeah, he is obviously killing things out here.
And Raheem, speaking of corny, before we leave this topic, I do have a new top 5 list for you, man. I got a new top 5, Raheem, so go ahead. I'm going to filibuster for a moment to give you time to just kind of grab a pen and paper, because as you know, this is very important. So here we go. These are the top 5 things that make a black man corny. So I even have one on the outside looking in. This was the first cut, and that is thinking Nikola Jokic is NBA MVP. That's corny, Raheem. Kendrick Perkins tried to tell y'all that was corny.
When it comes down to guys winning MVP since 1990, it's only 3 guys that won the MVP that wasn't top 10 in scoring. Do you know who those 3 guys were?
Who were they?
Steve Nash, Jokic, and Dirk Nowitzki. No.
Dirk Nowitzki.
What do those guys have in common? I'll let it sit there and marinate. You think about it.
Stephen A. Molly. Stephen A. Molly. That's corny, Molly. But let's get into the actual top 5, Raheem. So here we go. Number 5 on the list of things that make a black man corny: having a bad haircut. So this is truly a real indicator of corniness. I see, in Texas, especially in San Antonio, you see a lot of dudes walking around with a bullshit high and tight. And I'm telling you, man, the improper blend on the fade is definitely the number 5 indicator of corniness among black men. The way you could to even be able to walk around like that and feel confident is amazing. Number 4, Raheem, on the top 5 list of things that make a black man corny: having no criminal record. And not necessarily even jail time, just even having no run-ins with the police that have caused them to keep a report. It's corny. If you a black dude and you got that situation, people gonna consider you corny, Raheem. I think that goes without saying. Now, number 3 on the top 5 things that make a black man corny: no tattoos. You're not gonna dress up the melanin a little bit? I mean, come on, brother. What are you doing? No tattoos, you probably corny. Now, number 2, we're getting into the top 2, Raheem. Here we go. Top 5 things that make a black man corny. This is number 2. Dating white women. And particularly, this is exclusively, if you are exclusively dating white women, people, I mean, look, man, people gonna definitely feel like you corny. What is this exclusivity? Why you can't, you just can't find nothing at home? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? I mean, you might have a dalliance, but really, exclusively, that's corny, Raheem. But number 1, here we go. Number 1, top 5 things that make a black man corny. Agreeing with white people. So these are people who, you know, ride around with a Blue Lives Matter sticker and are black. And, you know what I mean? People who say all lives matter. You know what I mean? The folks who find something, you know, I mean, maybe the Jason Whitlocks of the world. You know, matter of fact, Raheem, on the way out, man, could we, I got a little clip of Jason Whitlock here responding to Donald Trump's, even just the idea. This is a clip of Jason Whitlock on Tucker Carlson. This is going to play us out. Speaking of corniness, Jason Whitlock went on Tucker Carlson after the report came out saying Trump would be indicted. And here's what he had to say.
Tucker, I don't say this with pride. I really don't. I'm just being factual. I've never voted. And so I'm not saying that with pride. I'm hardcore MAGA tonight. I will be voting. I am hardcore MAGA. I've never voted. I did, you know, I observed Trump. I'm somewhat supportive of Trump, but they have made me MAGA.